All right, everyone watching this interview call on our Road to Bootcamp series. We are so privileged tonight because I managed to get a hold of one of the busiest, most hardworking executives, one of the smartest guys we've ever met in the industry. Right, he's none other than our veteran corporate executive, right, and what we call a
No.
president, not vice president of Worldventures Holdings. That's right. Okay, president of Worldventures Holdings. He's none other than the one and only rock star himself, Eddie Head. Eddie, say hi to everyone.
Hey, how are you, Dennis? From one rock star to another, then, my friend. Thanks for having me on today.
All right. Okay. Share the guitar. Play. All right. So it's a real privilege to have you on the call for this precious 30 minutes or so. We just want to hear from you, Eddie, because we've always been just hearing updates and promos and latest announcements from you on stage. But I think a lot of us would really love to hear your story.
Sure.
About how you started with Worldventures, what were you doing before that, and how you met Wayne, and it's been like coming 13, 14 years now with the company. So let us hear that side of the story, and then I'll pop in with a few questions when you're ready. All right?
Okay, sounds good, Dennis.
All right,
Thanks
perfect,
for asking.
man. Everyone, yeah, let's
So,
hand it over to Eddie.
All right, thank you. Well,
yes,
I was introduced to Worldventures somewhat by accident about almost 13 years ago, just shortly after the 1-year anniversary of Worldventures. I was working in the music industry, in the entertainment industry, managing the careers of major label recording artists, and had been on tour with a couple of artists and had just finished a TV show for MTV for one of the artists that I was managing and working with, and had a couple of other artists that were working to secure their record deals. One was on American Idol and was a finalist, and one had won America's Most Talented Kid, and I had another band that had just gotten signed with a contract in the United States for as a rock band, and things were going really well, but I was very busy. I lived most of my life on the road. About 10 months a year, in fact, I was living on the road. Although I had a home in Dallas, Texas, I also had a home that we rented in Los Angeles, and found myself really in hotels, more so than any home that I was supposed to be living in, and buses. And it made for a rather tumultuous life. And I will tell you too that although the industry is somewhat glamorous at moments, it's really sort of a feast or famine existence when you're in a sort of the younger part of your career. And although we were having a lot of success, it was early enough in the success cycle that we were still essentially just going from one record to another record, from one deal to another deal. And I loved it, but what I would say is that I did not anticipate what was about to happen. I knew I was going to be home for many months in between the cycles for an album recording process between artists. And I'm the kind of guy who stays busy all the time. And I was online looking for software, and actually looking for software on Craigslist. I don't know if any of you remember Craigslist, but this was like a Web 1.0 website that had like classified ads. And I was just trying to buy some software, and an ad popped up that said world's fastest growing travel company seeks marketing or brand expert to help update their websites and update their look and their feel. And I had no idea what to expect, but there was this sort of almost desperation in the ad that I was just compelled to investigate. So I reached out and I looked online, couldn't really find much about it. And then when I did actually find something out about the company, I sent them my CV, and I got a response really quickly. And in the CV, I had all of these links to the various brands I was working with, from MTV to Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, and a number of other brands that we were working with at the time. So the response was really immediate. And they said, hey, you've worked with a lot of these other brands, what could you do for us? And after a series of conversations, we engaged, and I put together a very small team, and we did some rebranding of Worldventures at the time. They had their first logo and they had their first website, and it was just very, very remedial, very early state, not even 2-year-old company at the time. So we did that. And then we debuted the handful of tools we made, which included a movie and a website and a microsite, at a very small event for about 600 people here in the United States. And that was the only country in which Worldventures was open. They just had a few tens of thousands of representatives. I think maybe they didn't even have 10,000 representatives at the time. And only a couple of dozen employees at the same time too. But in front of that audience of about 600, we showed the first updated view of their brand and their website. And then we debuted the movie. And the audience was in tears and exuberant laughter and joy. And they were jumping up and down. And it was unbelievable. And I remember Yvette Yaloa ran up to the stage, and I'd never met her before. And she ran up and said, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have no idea what a huge difference this makes to our lives. And I didn't realize that. I'd been working all of my adult career to help artists find their way to 15 minutes of fame. But this allowed people to change their lives. I didn't know this. I didn't understand the industry. I didn't know how important the tools were. I didn't recognize how impactful the work we were doing could potentially be for people. But it put better tools in their hands, better communication, better assets, really helped them to tell the story in an easier way. And that could potentially impact people's lives. And I instantaneously knew that everything that we'd been working for and all that I had learned through my time with these big brands and working in television and working in radio, and I recognized that I could apply a lot of this to what we were doing here at Worldventures. I didn't know at the time what the company was going to be, but I saw the potential. I had met Wayne briefly, and I fell in love with his vision. And shortly thereafter, I recognized that I just wanted to throw myself into this business and do everything I could to try to help this company grow and thrive. And the closer I got to Wayne and the closer I got to the field, the closer I got to the business and understanding how this was fundamentally empowering people to transform their lives and the lives of others, the harder we wanted to work, the more we wanted to impact, and the more we wanted to contribute. And for the next, decade plus, that's been the story. Here in our 14th year, I don't think that theme has ever changed. I can tell you this, it's not ever changed for Wayne Nugent. From the day that I met him until this very moment, even as lately as last night, when we talk, his passion, his commitment to our customers, his commitment to the representatives and to the opportunity is unwavering. And it inspires you. As inspired as I was, Dennis, at that moment, as much as it transformed my own values about how I wanted to apply my experience, any of my expertise that I had to offer, he continues to push us. He continues to inspire us to even greater heights. And his creativity and his vision for the business has been such a catalyst for growth and evolution for us. And I think for our industry, Dennis, I don't think that the industry would be what it is today without Wayne and his vision, because he fundamentally took a concept that was based on really, let's face it, makeup, lotions, potions, pills, and juices and such, and applied fun and lifestyle as the product, as the way that we actually help to further our opportunity. And nobody had ever done that effectively before. Sure, there were other travel-based network marketing companies, but no one had ever taken this concept and made it so elegant and easy to understand that it could be explained in just a few minutes and people got it. And they wanted to share with their friends and family. It didn't feel weird or icky or strange to share. It's very odd to go share a product if it's not something that's a perfect fit for them, but travel is pretty much a perfect fit for everyone. So I would argue that has helped us to continue to think innovatively about our future. And today, the way that has transformed my own life is very, very similar. I'm constantly looking at how we can and sort of integrate more lifestyle into our lives. And I use my own life as a model, because the truth is that at the corporate office, Wayne and I and Josh and Justin and the team, we make a living working for the people who are making a living living. So, so striking that balance between, our work life and fun, freedom, and fulfillment, it's a test. Like, we have to see, how would we do this? How can we make this better for our customers? How can we make this better for you? And so the very thing that sort of catapulted us into this arena and really drove me to want to be the best contributor and steward of your lives, your prosperity, keeps us going today and keeps us testing ourselves for better and better solutions, buddy.
Wow. Thank you so much for your story, Eddie. I'm sure that allows a lot of Worldventures members and reps out there to, know you on another level, more personally, to hear that you've been with the company since the beginning, with Wayne. So let's move on to talk a little bit about Mark Aceta. And, you were in the company even before Mark Aceta joined and started, with the corporate training events and Bootcamp and Momentum and all of that. So can you tell us a little bit from your point of view, from the beginning until now, how has Mark Aceta and his training program and the corporate training program changed the business, from then until now?
Because of the nature of my early engagement, I came on board right around the same time Mark did. So I was introduced to Mark sort of at the same time as everyone else was. And what I understood about the training and everything that they were doing in preparation for this new events-driven culture was that Wayne and Mark and Dan and the founders of the company had this idea that they wanted to create a culture that was driven by a we mentality, right? That we do this together, we travel together, we succeed together. And they thought that there could be something in the events culture that helped to really strengthen that, to galvanize it. And Mark had come from a rich background of training through a number of different methodologies, not just standing in front of the room and almost, seminar speaker like delivering a message, but involving the audience and theatrical presentations as well, and deeply personal development based ethics as well around the way that he taught and the way that he trained. And they very intentionally thought about how they were going to create this events culture, and it worked. Now, it started with just this monthly series called Acceleration, and we still do acceleration events from time to time around the world, but that was the only thing we did at that time. Every month in a different city, we did the acceleration events, and it was something that we did to train in before there were Bootcamp series or Momentum series or even The View. And it was good in that it gathered people to kind of start this big event culture before we were a huge company. But how it has evolved is a reflection of us. What it provides today is certainly by design, something that is meant to speak to the state of your business every year as the year evolves, and thematically as your business evolves. So if you start in January, the reason we create an event at the beginning of the calendar called Momentum is because we wanted to set the tone, the pace, the energetic theme for the year. And what better theme than momentum? The whole idea was that you want to establish it, maintain it, and propel it, drive it forward. And then United in the spring in the Northern Hemisphere was a perfect time for us to get together and talk about us as one big team, one big family with one dream. And then going into Bootcamp is all about driving yourself to further your business to higher heights and to anchor your training in your business, or anchor your business in your training. We push ourselves harder, we're more rigorous, and we really are looking at this event thematically to help drive us to grow the business even faster. And this is an event where, from a company perspective, we fuel growth with major announcements. Every year at Momentum, we kick off the year with updates. Every year at Bootcamp, we look at new advances that can fundamentally transform your business into something that is propelled faster. And Bootcamp is about, although it's sort of themed in basic training, it's really about advancing your business and taking the strongest trainers we have in our business to help you propel that business even faster. At this event, it's no different. We're going to be giving major new advances to you as our representatives, and we're going to be enhancing and expanding our product lineup as well. We're making a major product announcement at Bootcamp. And in Asia, Wayne and I are going to attend the Kuala Lumpur event, and we're going to be talking extensively about what that does for you and what that does for your customers as well. We're also going to be talking about some of the features, some of what you should expect in that, and some of how this is going to impact your compensation coming out of the Bootcamp series in our hometown in Texas. Just a few weeks later, we'll be unveiling this product and unveiling the compensation enhancements that will essentially just expand what you already love, what is already the hottest compensation plan in the industry. So no massive changes, massive expansions, massive additions to product, massive expansion of the earning opportunity. And we've given a few preview statements about what that looks like. If you've watched my promotional video for what we're doing right now, Double Speed, you guys know that we are right now dealing in a limited time urgency environment because 149 PYP is going away, and the tiered approach to our product is going to meet every single one of our customers' needs depending upon where they are in their life and what they desire in their vacation lifestyle. And the compensation is going to reflect those modifications to help enhance your earning ability as well. Where right now we have a $149 entry price, that limits the amount of commissions that can be paid on the front, but the back is exactly the same. When we make these updates and announcements, that is going to enhance the way that you earn on the monthly and enhance the way that you earn within your team as well. With the advance of a matching bonus and the way in which people are going to enroll to become this new Dream Trips X that we're still calling it until the event. We actually have a name. We're just not going to tell you what that is until the event. You're going to see your business potentially explode because of the earning opportunity. And your customers are going to be able to take the Dream Trips experience to an entirely new level. The kind of experience that people at the aspirational level demand. If you're an aspirational level travel, your expectations are much higher. We're going to deliver on that. If you are building a business and you want to make more money faster, the higher priced products allow you to do that, of course, but it also helps you to provide a product that meets a segment of your audience that today we think is not really well served. We think Platinum does a good job. We want to do a great job of blowing their expectations away. The new product tier will do that for us, Dennis. And at Bootcamp, this is the perfect place for us to make these kinds of announcements. And this is why, it's so important to be at those events, Dennis. It's not just because Mark is, a badass on stage and can definitely give you the kind of wisdom that only a guy with his experience and his success can, but because he helps to take those announcements along with every other trainer and put it into focus and help you understand how you apply all of this knowledge to your business plan for the future. Whether you've just gotten started in the last week and this is your first major event, or this is your 15th event, Mark and our trainers are going to help you understand how you take what we're delivering for you and what we have over the past few years and apply it to your success formula going forward. And there's nobody better in the industry to do it than Mark. And that's one of the things I think that we probably underestimate, Dennis. I mean, we've both seen many other companies in the industry. We have friends who've pursued opportunities maybe within the industry or people we know, we've seen. But let's face it, If you talk to anybody in our industry about what's special about World Ventures, they may talk about the compensation plan, they may talk about the amazing product, but they also talk about our amazing events culture and how incredibly unique our events culture is. Mark is one of the reasons why. The culture that we've created around this is a reflection of all of his wisdom, all of his experience, plus this fun-loving, like family-like environment that we have. And all of it ultimately ends up circling around this idea of, we're going to do this together. And this is the event where you're going to hear not only the good news, but how you take this good news and apply it to your future.
Wow, thank you so much, Eddie. I mean, coming from you, breaking down each major event and the purpose and the goal of each major event, that really clarifies a lot of people's questions about, like, why should I be at this event? What's the difference? Bootcamp, momentum, aren't they all the same? But they, of course, after what you explained, it makes it so clear that every event is a major build up, right, for our business to explode to another level. So
That's right.
we're always looking forward, to the big events and the big trainings. So it's not just about the knowledge, but also about the momentum that we're going to get after each event. Eddie, I just interviewed Travis Just, IMD Travis Just. He just came back from Colombia, RTE. He said that there was like 600-700 people there, super excited. And I just want to share with you what he shared. He shared this statement from I think it's a RMD from Colombia. He said that World Ventures now is like $1 billion startup company, right? That still has a long way to grow, a long way to grow. So can you tell us a little bit, from all the way from the top, the president of Worldventures Holdings, cast some vision for us, where you see we're going to go in the next 3, 5, 10 years?
Sure. Firstly, I would say that one of the major initiatives for us is to help more people find success in their lives and more people find fun in their lives. So if there are two goals, one for the business and one for the membership, that would be the most simplistic way to state it. And success is a broad term. Dennis, for you, success is something probably very specific. That might not be the same for the young lady that I met this last week, or 2 weeks ago, who was at her first event in New York City. Success for her may be a completely different thing than success for me. But if we can build an opportunity that is easy to understand and to pursue, easy to communicate, and I know what I need to do to be successful, I can choose my path. I can choose my path and the pace that I want to set to find success by my own measure. Really delivering on something that allows people to find success at their own measure, whether that is a supplemental income to their life today, maybe powering their vacation budget, or transforming their family's financial future, leaving a financial legacy, building a family dynasty. We want to have something that will allow people to do all of that. Not everyone is going to create the latter. Not everyone wants to create the former. We want to create a vehicle that allows people to do any and all of that, depending upon the amount of effort that you want to put into it and how tenacious and how much time you're going to apply as well. But it should be simple. It should be understandable. It should be duplicable. I should be able to communicate this to everyone in my team. And from the very earliest stages of their growth as a representative, they should understand what they need to do to get to that next echelon, to propel their business to where they want to take it. And if they change their mind halfway through, they should know immediately how to get there. And the opportunity should be so well tuned that people immediately see it and understand its value without considering for a moment that World Ventures is necessarily a direct sales company, for instance. I mean, I foresee a day where, from an opportunity perspective, this industry and our company is seen as one of the most equitable and easily adoptable forms of commerce, of business, that people will choose a path like this because it's trusted, because it's something that everybody wants to be a part of. to create a brand that is that is that ubiquitous, that is that common and that trusted, that immediately when they hear it, they think, wow, that's fantastic. I can't wait to be associated with that. That's a huge goal. And from a product perspective, to be able to create a product experience within our membership that everybody not just wants, but they don't want to be without. So that's different than need necessarily. But I would say that we could create a need if people need to protect their lifestyle. So how would it be for us to continue to expand our daily, local, global offering so that the day that one gets started, they can recognize value, whether it's through our DTL network of dining and entertainment establishments in the thousands around the world, expanding that to millions of establishments, or taking the vacation experience and making it even more elegant, making sure that when you walk into an establishment with our brand in front of you, people immediately know that it stands for the watermark of quality, of experience, of convenience, of value. And that when our name is said around that brand associated with fun, that they immediately know that it's a higher level of quality. Think the way that people think about Disney for family entertainment, or people think of, let's say, Coca-Cola for soft drinks. But maybe Disney is even a better analogy because it does stand for family entertainment, high quality family entertainment. Well, I want Dream Trips to have that same watermark of excellence. I want people to see that brand and immediately think, wow, I want to do that. I have a choice. I can go book my own vacation, or I can experience a dream trip. I want people to immediately know that what they want, what they need, is a Dream Trips experience. And why would they want to ever let that go? Achieving that level of affinity and appreciation for what we deliver in our product is another goal. And where we're taking our product development and our opportunity development is down those parallel paths. We do not develop or fund our product. We do not undersource or underdevelop our opportunity. Dennis, you've been party to many conversations where we're talking about how we can make the business better. How, your experience and what you observe as needs in the field and holes in our comp plan or opportunities within our compensation can be better. Likewise, when we talk about product, there's not a single leader in the world who doesn't look at the quality of our membership as always expanding and always being available for improvement, because we must. We know that we have to continue to expand it and make it better and better and better. And I would say that the next 5 to 10 years are going to lay the groundwork and eventually deliver a brand that meets that level of excellence and affinity and esteem. I want people to see our brands and know immediately that it stands for value and, of course, integrity.
Wow, Eddie. I'm really excited about the product right now because I've been sharing our product, our app with people, and they just want to sign up even without talking about the business side of it. So,
True.
yeah. So, final question, because I know you have a meeting that you have to rush off to close off today's call. Eddie, we've been through some rough patches over the last 13 years, and I think one of the worst tough times came last year, and it's been almost a year since then, where there was a huge shakeup internally and within the company, which most people will ask this question. But from your point of view, I mean, personally, I feel the company is now fully pulled away from that. And we've made it so obvious that we are, as strong as ever, and we're gonna become really, really huge, right, within the next, 3 to 5 years. But I just want to hear it from you. Do you feel that same way?
Yeah, I feel as if it's our very duty to make sure that we're protecting your future. We have been made stronger because of the experiences we've had over the past 13 years. In 13 years, I would say that there have been 2 or 3 major times of difficulty for our industry. we had a huge financial crisis in the world in the 2008 to 2010 period that shook up the industry as a whole and really tested us and other companies. We were a much younger company then. We did not have the footprint that we do today. We didn't have the maturity that we do today, but we already had the core leadership. We had already started to build a global footprint and had begun to form the right relationships to help us go through that difficult time and be one of the companies that survived and then ultimately thrived coming through it. About a year and a half ago, going through last year, we had a very difficult time too. And going through that period was as big a test, at least, as the time was before. And coming through it was another sign of the resilience and the character of our field, but also of our founder, Wayne Nugent, and of the quality of this team. It was all about partnership during that period, and then identifying the areas of the business where we needed to make sure we had better protection for us and for you, so that we didn't find ourselves in any sort of vulnerable state that despite any headwinds. What we're doing today is a product of that good work that was done. We have, for the 14th month in a row, posted, again, a profitable performance and have been applying all of that back into the business. We take every bit of the money that we make and we put it right back into the business. And whether that is making sure that every bill is paid, or every commission is paid, or every development process is going into furthering the product and helping you grow your business, every single cent goes into the business. And we're building a more resilient foundation for scale as well, because the opportunity we see in front of us could be testing in and of itself. If your company is growing at the rapid rate that we have seen ourselves grow this year, you can be tested just simply because of the growth. There are companies in our industry that have failed because they weren't ready for growth. We know better. We've seen that kind of growth. We've had one of the most vertical years of growth in our company's history this year. In fact, I would bet you that we were the fastest growing company in the world in the past 6 months. And we want to take the work we've done to try to make sure we can handle that scale and that speed of growth and apply it to your future. We want to protect you, protect your families, and protect this for posterity. And I think that we've done not just that, but I believe that we've built ourselves a foundation and a team that can deliver an ever-improving opportunity and an ever-improving product at scale, and make sure that your paychecks and the product quality, despite any growth, will not be watered down. That because we grow does not mean that everybody needs to make a few pennies less. Because we grow does not mean that every experience must be slightly diluted. There's a law in business. And in business school, it's one of the first things they teach you. And that's for every doubling of the company size, you lose at least 1/3 in quality of your product, unless you plan proactively. Well, our business is not just about the product. Our business is also about your business. We have to protect both sides. We have to protect your opportunity. We have to protect your paycheck. We have to protect the product. And that means developing processes, developing people, investing in infrastructure, and a delivery of these things that cannot be broken. And the tests that we went through, Dennis, identified the weak spots in our business, and we've made them ironclad. We've created the kind of foundation we know is built on concrete, not on sand. And we know there'll be many, 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 many companies who will come and go over the next 13 to 14 years as we continue to thrive and power your future. And we take it very personally, every one of us, that we must do a better job tomorrow than we did today. And that's our commitment, buddy. You know, are we confident? Yeah. You don't get to be the place we are right now, top of the perch in our
That's
industry, right. and in our area of the industry, but also having gone through those things has just made us that much stronger, my friend. We're very blessed, very humble, and know that we always have more to learn, and are so grateful for leaders like you, Dennis, to help us get the message out there and to help propel people's vision for this bright future the way that you're doing right now is so valuable. I want to thank you personally, man. This is a very valuable conversation we're having today, and it's those that you're having with the leaders too. It means the world to me that you're doing this. I hope your teams recognize how much this can really help them find their way over the course of the next season to get through the year with, you know, the greatest chance of success. So thank you, my friend.
Thank you as well, Eddie. You know, we are also very blessed to have you. I want to also share the compliment with you that, you know, I've never seen anyone else in any other company who's in the same position or in a similar position as yourself, you know, at the head of the corporate, who's you've been evolving constantly, you know, innovating and just using your intelligence and your wisdom to guide this company, you know, through thick and thin, you know. And I'm so glad that we didn't crack under pressure last year. And personally, I'm so happy that I'm still on this mothership, and we're gonna take this baby to the moon and beyond.
Let's do it. Let's do it,
do
buddy.
it, brother. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Eddie. Everybody, please, Facebook comments, YouTube, message Eddie, share your love, share your thanks, and, you know, let's give him the confidence that we're all here, you know, to back him up and make this dream a reality. Thank you very much, Eddie.
See you at Bootcamp. Bye now.
All right. See you at Bootcamp in Asia, Kuala Lumpur. See you. Thank you.